another Kapow Toys review for you today, and it's another Marvel Legends figure from the Hulkbuster wave, and this time it is Doctor Strange. And this is a really nice figure. I'm quite looking forward to getting hold of this guy, because the previous Doctor Strange we had is the Toy Biz one, and it was a bit pants looking, whereas this is a lot nicer. It's obviously off the new design, without the massive billowy cape, and just an all-round better looking Doctor Strange, I reckon. That's just my opinion. Your opinion may differ. It's got a nice head sculpt on him. Come on, focus, you know you want to. He's got his nice handlebar moustache. He's got his grey bits in his hair. His head is kind of a bit high on his neck. I mean, it looks alright from the front, but when you kind of get it in hand, like it really looks down. It feels like they compromised somewhere along the line to give it a bit more articulation, and now it's a bit kind of weird the way it sits on the ball in there, but it's definitely got loads of articulation, so you can't complain about that. He comes with the same kind of magic things that clip onto his wrists as came with Scarlet Witch in the previous Avengers wave. I did have her, but I've only recently got rid of her. They're exactly the same, just a different colour, and you can obviously use the larger parts that attach to him. He's a standard sort of buck with some newer bits on him. So he's got the regular sort of Marvel Legends articulation that we've all come to know and love now. So he's got 360 on the shoulders, bicep swivel, double elbows, and a wrist with a twist and a swivel there. He's got the Marvel Legends hips, thigh twist, double jointed knees, calf and ankles. It's also got the waist twist and the ab crunch. And as you can hear with the shoulders, it's got a nice ratchet in there, so he'll hold most poses. You know, if you want to get him in a pose, his shoulders aren't going to let him down. His gloves are newly sculpted, which is nice, and he's got the Doctor Strange magic hands going on there. It would have been nice if he'd have come with an extra set of hands, so he wasn't always doing that pose. But then when you see how much plastic they've used with the Build-A-Figure parts in this wave, I'm not going to complain about not getting enough extras. Yeah. He's got this kind of cape, and it's sculpted nicely, like the wind is sweeping it off to the side. It's very, well, it's not very hard. It's not going to move around, it's going to stay in one position, but it's got a nice effect to it. He is, like I say, the kind of standard buck, so he scales up well with other Marvel Legends. So yeah, and that's him. All these figures in this wave are really nice. The paint apps on them have been really good, and I haven't been able to complain about any paint apps on any of these figures, which is always a nice thing, because sometimes it's a bit hit and miss with Hasbro and their paint apps. Go on, focus. I mean, it's pretty flawless, considering it's not a particularly expensive figure. They seem to have taken quite a bit of care when it comes to the paint apps, so that's good. And yeah, it's a nice figure. I shall stick a link up in the description below to these guys. As I said in the Hulkbuster wave, it's worth getting these figures just for Hulkbuster. So if you're thinking about them, just buy it for Hulk, and if you don't like these, then you'll be able to move them on easily enough, I reckon. But Hulkbuster himself is awesome. But Doctor Strange is a nice figure. Up next we got Thundra. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I could be wrong. Please feel free to correct me if I am saying it wrong. And she is a figure that's kind of taken me by surprise, because she's like awesome, in all honesty. She's huge as well. If we bring in Miss Marvel, who is a kind of standard female figure, put her arm down so I can stand them next to each other. I mean, she towers above her. She is huge, properly huge. Now, I don't know if this is a brand new body. It's been a long time since I had the Red She-Hulk, but I think there are definitely parts to this that it's new. I don't remember the Red She-Hulk having this well-defined ab section, and I don't remember her legs being quite as long as this. She is quite a lovely looking lady. I know it's only plastic, but I mean, there's no denying that she looks good. The paint apps on this figure are like flawless. They are so good. You can see she's got like a dry brush on her orange hair, so it's got like a lighter orange going over the top of it as well. And then she's got green eyes and the red lips. It's just a stunning looking figure. You got the kind of bit of her clothing painted on under there. She's just a really, really good looking figure. And not like in a creepy, she looks good, but as a figure, it looks good, like as a toy. She comes with her ball and chain, and it's a reasonably soft, you know, you can play around with it, but it's always going to ping back to its original pose. But it's a long ball and chain, so that's nice. Her belt is loose on her, but it's again nice, all painted well. She's got the standard sort of articulation, so she's got 360 bicep, the regular sort of female shoulder joint. I don't know why the girls can't have double hinge elbows, but they don't seem to let them have that. She's got double jointed knees, hip joints, no calf swivel, but she's got the regular ankle articulation there. So you're going to get some reasonable poses out of her, but her hair is like super hard, superly tough plastic. Like this has got some movement in it, so you can move it around. This one here is like rock solid. There is no movement in that. So she's going to look straight, or a little bit not quite straight, or on this way, not quite straight. So that's it. That's all the movement you get from the head. That's the only downside to it. But she does look really good. On the shelf, really nice looking figure. And if you compare it to like Iron Man, who is also quite a large sort of scale figure, see what I mean? She's just like towers over them. I like big figures, and she's a big figure, so that's nice. She's good. So yeah, that's her. So let's take a look at the next figure. Next up is Valkyrie, and again, a really nice figure. Sculpted well, nice hair, good body again. She seems to have the same legs as Thundra. Yeah, they're the same legs on her. So I wonder if it's the legs that are new, because her body here is definitely kind of newly sculpted, because she's got these 4 style bits on there, and she's got the sculpting around there and on her neck. So she's got a new body, that's for sure, and the belt is also sculpted. But they're around the same sort of size. Thundra is possibly in hand just a little bit bigger, just a touch bigger. But still, again, a really good figure. I mean, the paint on there again, I mean, the eyes are pretty perfect. The lips are pretty good. And she's got the dry brushing in the hair again. You've got all the silver spots on the belt. So, really nicely done again. She's obviously bigger than regular female figures. She compares pretty nicely with Thor. So there she is with Thor, and they look good together. So they look nice on a shelf. Once I get my hands on the new Amazon pack for the Avengers, I shall probably display these two together. So yeah, she is a nice figure as well. The standard sort of articulation. She's got the torso there. More movement on the head. Her hair is softer, so you can move her head around, which is better. 360 on the shoulders, bicep swivel, single joint on the elbows. She's got that awkward Marvel Legends hip joint, but you can get a good range out of it. Double jointed knees and the ankles. So that is Valkyrie. Oh yeah, she also comes with the sword, which is a nice sword. Again, painted well. And it's got a nice design on the hilt. So yeah, that's going to come to what is for me the kind of dud of the wave. Some of you may feel very differently, but just for me personally, this is the figure that I had like zero interest in. It is the Marvel Now Iron Man. He's okay, there's nothing wrong with him, but he's just like, oh, another Iron Man, and now he's gold and black. I don't need multiple Iron Mans. I'm sure many of you love your Iron Man and will be excited to get another Iron Man to stick in your Hall of Armour. I am not one of those people. He is a nice figure, however. Good articulation, nice sculpt, and a nice paint job on him. You know, there's no bleeding of the eyes, no bleeding on the arc reactor, and all the gold and bits and pieces around are all painted nicely. He's got good articulation. These shoulder bits, they kind of get out of the way so you can lift his arm up and get that. You can get his head up reasonably far. It's got the double jointed knees, and you can swing his hips out so you can get some good range of movement on him there. He also has the single joint on like the torso there. So he's a nice figure. Just for me, he is not the most exciting one of the wave. So that is Marvel Now, Iron Man. And we've got the only real bad guy for the wave, which is Blizzard. And he's also not particularly exciting. He's nicely done. There's nothing wrong with him, but it's not really a figure I was looking forward to. It's got a nice enough face sculpt, painted well. He's just like kind of a bland figure, really, I suppose. There's nothing much to him. It's a standard buck with a pretty boring paint job. But if you like Blizzard, it's a good Blizzard. It's got the regular articulation for a Marvel Legends figure, but that's him with nice paint, nice plastic. But that is Blizzard. Was to get a really nice War Machine. Now this is War Machine from the Age of Ultron. I'm pretty sure it's what he looks like in Age of Ultron. And you get a Don Cheadle head in there as well. I really like that. It's a good likeness to him, especially for like a Marvel Legends scale figure. I think that's a pretty good likeness. I'm impressed with that. And it's the metallic style plastic with the like metal flecks in there. I think that looks good. I like that a lot. He does come with the regular head as well, so you can have either one on there, and obviously that's easy to swap around. He's got his gun on the side, which is articulated, and you can have it going over this side if you prefer, but that looks a bit weird. He's got the different positions, so you can plug it in there, or you can plug it in there and have it shooting like that. But it looks a bit like that to me. His articulation is very similar to Iron Man's. Come up there, got double elbows. He's got the one joint on the torso. He's got the hips, double jointed knees, and he's got the ankle joints, but they are hindered by this kind of armorish bit around here. But he looks really good standing with the rest of the Avengers. So he is a nice figure. I do like him a lot. I think he looks really good. It's a nice War Machine. It's the same body, I believe, as the Iron Patriot. So I think it's the same body, but just with the standard War Machine colours. But it's a nice figure. Really nice one. I like him a lot. And last, but by no means least, it is my favourite figure of the wave, Vision. And this is a really, really nice Vision. He is the best one we've had to date, in my opinion. He looks a good balance between the movie and the comics. So if you want to get a Vision to display with your comic Avengers, you've got a really nice one now. And if you want a Vision to display with your movie Avengers, then this guy works perfectly as well. He's got a really nice face sculpt on him. And again, the paint apps on this guy are pretty flawless. So I'm really happy to have a really nice Vision. His cape's a bit odd, but it works really well. He's got really nice head articulation, so you can get a really good flying pose out of him. And he just looks all round really good. I really, really like him. He works really well with both sets of Avengers. And here he is with a semi-full setup of Avengers. And he looks nice. He fits in well with them. He's got a good kind of balance between the movie look and the comic look. I don't know what's going on with his hand there. So they've done a good job with this one. He fits really nicely in with the movie stuff, and he will fit in nicely with any comic stuff. So if you wanted to have a more comic-esque, wanted a more comic style Avengers setup, then you can see he fits in nicely there as well. so it may be worth picking up too. And he's a standard buck, so he's got all the regular articulation that we've seen over and over again. But this is Vision, and I love him. So if there's two figures, if you want to get hulkbuster, then that's perfect. You're going to get hulkbuster, Vision. I'd say you want to keep War Machine as well if you're going for the whole Avengers thing. And then a nice, really good Doctor Strange as well. So even if you want to get it just for like 3 really good figures and an awesome bath, the whole wave's worth getting. And then just shop off the rest. But these 3 figures and the bath, it's definitely worth picking up for me. I will stick a link down there below so you can go and find it. www.powtoys.co.uk. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.